we don't know where that train is, so we're gonna go find it.
I can't say I'm fully educated on what's happening here, but if I have to guess, I have to say that train coming right now is half of 0708's consist. And by that I mean engines. Because 708, I can confirm, did have 6135 and 2756. But my best assumption is 0719, the CH Spur local, didn't have power in Winston. So midway through 708's trip, they had to cut one of the engines off and use it for 719. Bring it back to Winston and use it for 719. Because otherwise, why would 2756, a locomotive based out of Winston, be coming from Park Road? Park Road's like a mile east of downtown Plant City, by the way. I don't even know if this is them or not, but we're just gonna sit here and maybe be a little happy. We're set up here at Wiggins Road, somewhere between the towns of Plant City and Lakeland, Florida. And in roughly 2 minutes, our suspicions were confirmed. 2756 pulling short hood forward back to Winston. The only reason I can't say with utter certainty that 708 did what he did was because I wasn't on site watching when it happened. But everything that 2756 was doing was lining up with my assumptions. He got permission from the dispatcher to pull by Winston Pass and then back into the yard, cup along to 0719's consist, and then take it away. Within roughly an hour, 0719 was ready to go. He would have one tank and an aggregate hopper used as a shoving platform. He would come down the south leg of the Winston Y and then shove his train north to be in proper alignment for the CH Spur.
Stop here or just wait till we get down there?
719, after receiving permission from the dispatcher to open up the mainline switch for the Spur, comes on to the CH Spur. This track diverges off at the Lakeland Amtrak station and runs down to Eton Park, where there are about 3 industries remaining. The Spur parallels Bartow Road all the way to the end. This is my first time chasing a train down the CH Spur, and I realize how easy it is. Their top speed is only about 10 miles an hour, and when shoving they have to stop at every unguarded crossing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
719 is now just up the line getting ready to head onto the customer's tracks, and considering the fact that CSX is trying to sell off or rip up all lines possible, I'm going to say that the only reason that the CH Spur still exists is that there's 3 customers down here at the end of this track, because right here at Kotabeaner Road is where the CH Spur comes to an abrupt end. The only thing on the track past the switch now is some piece of maintenance equipment. Otherwise, once the track ends, the road continues like the track was never there. And God forbid, I'm not sure if it ever was. Not sure if the CH Spur ever went further south than this, but not anymore. This is what 719's operation looks like to us because we can't actually access the industry tracks, but the loaded tank is bound for Hexion Incorporated, some sort of chemical industry. He was now heading back further on the spur to switch the last customer. There's 2 there, but he would only be pulling 1 car out today. Since these 2 industries parallel Main Avenue, we now had a clear view as the train was to pull an empty tank car out of Packaging Corporation of America. From what I know, these guys specialize in mostly freight, so not sure why tank cars are at this industry, but I don't work here, so I don't know. They start by opening the customer's gates, then pulling 2756 past the switch, lining the switch for the spur, backing on to the car, pulling the car out of the spur, lining the switch back for the main, closing the customer's gates, and finally coupling back onto the aggregate hopper. And with their train fully assembled, it was time to head back to Winston. Would end our chase of 2756 here because there was another train approaching from the north that we were really trying to catch today. Well, I was anyway. We could only make it to Rudel Crossover just south of St. Catherine and midway between Bushnell and Dade City because Q45321 was about to intercept us. And he had quite the set today, I'll say that. Well, there it was, CSX 418 and AC 4400 CW in yellow nose tube paint, an ST70AH number 8904, and EACX 5837, a leaser locomotive. More on that one later. Though 453 was only 73 cars today, most of them were auto racks, and this industry is soon to return big time. South End Lakuchi. High green. I've used that line before. It was a fun chase from Rudel to Vitus. A chase wasn't completely over, but it wouldn't be until Winston that we'd catch up to the train again, because there are no roads that parallel the tracks in between Vitus and Lakeland. Crossing the tracks on the US 92 bridge, you can see out in the field that the construction of McCall Park is coming along pretty nicely. One of these days I'll get out here and do a dedicated video to McCall Park, because it's really been a fun part of our lives to see this park grow from the ground up right next to Lakeland Junction. It's pretty cool because just under a year ago was when the ST70s first came down to Florida to be tested down here, so it was really cool to see one of them on 453 today. Also, EACX 5837 is an ex-Norfolk Southern GP38-3. I believe this engine is headed to the US Sugar Railroad for leasing down there. This is coming from the East Coast Locomotive Leasing Group, and I'm not sure how long it'll be on USSC, but they got another EACX engine about 6 months ago, and that's still down there, so who knows. By now, 453's engines would be passing the south end of Winston Pass signals, but the whole train is to be pulled past the South Winston Y switch to be shoved into Winston Yard. This is a daily move here, though it seems completely crazy to see a mixed freight doing this. It happens every day. 453 was a really big thing for me today. First off, everything on the lash up was really cool to see, and two, this train was running over 2 hours early, which made it possible for us to see this train at all. After this train was out of Waycross, Georgia by 6 a.m., he skipped his stops in both Jacksonville and Baldwin, making it down here at no later than 4, which made it absolutely perfect for us to chase the train. And yes, this backing into Winston is a daily move, but these people at the crossing don't seem to care, and some of them aren't too happy about it. About to be late for that one! And just another day in Lakeland. Once 453's conductor was riding on the bottom end of the train, permission was given by the dispatcher to back in, so they did. we're chilling out here. 453's backing in. It's like 93. It's like 93, and I'm dying. Heading back to Plant City, and we've already got gates because there's an Amtrak train that is about 100 feet away. And just like that, it is gone. And our day of older power ends in Plant City with a nice Amtrak train. Number 92 headed northbound, bound for New York, crossing the diamond that we've seen oh so many times. Never gets old though. It's a train, and that's what we're here for. Off he goes northbound. Even the P-42s are starting to become slightly rare. From what I've heard, the Siemens Chargers are going to replace these guys within a year or two. Either way, thanks for joining me out on the high iron today, and I'll see you next time on the Sunshine State Rails.